Knull versus the Black Racer. The Deathbringers collide. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into an epic showdown that crosses the boundaries of universes. Knull, the god of the symbiotes from Marvel, versus the Black Racer, the avatar of death from DC. Imagine two of the most formidable embodiments of death and destruction colliding in an all-out battle. Who would come out on top? In this video, we're going to explore the origins and histories of these two titans, break down their incredible powers and abilities, and speculate on what might happen if they ever faced off. So buckle up, and let's get started on this cosmic journey. Knull, the god of the symbiotes. Origin and history. First up, let's talk about Knull. If you're a fan of Marvel Comics, you might have heard whispers about this dark deity. Born in the primordial void that existed before the universe began, Knull is an ancient and malevolent entity. When the Celestials started creating the universe, their light pierced Knull's perfect darkness, and he wasn't too thrilled about it. Feeling enraged by this intrusion, Knull forged the all-black Necrosword, a weapon of immense power made from his own shadow and the divine energy of a slain Celestial. With it, he decapitated a Celestial, a feat that's practically unheard of. This act kicked off a cosmic war against the forces of light and creation. Knull then used his dark abilities to create an army of symbiotes, beings made from the living abyss that he could control, to spread his influence across the cosmos. Over billions of years, Knull waged war, slaughtering gods and conquering worlds. However, his own creations eventually turned against him. The symbiotes, influenced by the light of the civilizations they bonded with, rebelled and imprisoned Knull at the heart of their planet, creating a symbiote hive mind. But Knull wasn't done yet. He eventually broke free, leading to the events of the King in Black storyline, where he descended upon Earth with the intent to envelop it in darkness. Powers and abilities. So what makes Knull such a terrifying force? Well, for starters, he's a primordial god with control over darkness itself. He can manipulate the living abyss, a dark amorphous substance from which he creates symbiotes. This means he can craft weapons, unleash tendrils, and even form entire armies with just a thought. Knull possesses immense strength, rivaling that of the strongest beings in the Marvel Universe. He's immortal, doesn't age, and is virtually indestructible by conventional means. He also has cosmic awareness, allowing him to perceive events happening across vast distances. Plus, with his all-black Necrosword, he can cut through almost anything. Even gods aren't safe. Throughout his existence, Knull has demonstrated the ability to corrupt and control other beings. He can dominate the minds of those connected to the symbiotes, bending them to his will. This includes not just ordinary beings, but also powerful heroes and villains. During his assault on Earth, Knull managed to take control of characters like Venom and even a symbiote-infused Hulk. But Knull isn't just about brute force. He's also cunning and strategic. He orchestrated a plan that spanned eons, patiently waiting for the right moment to strike. His influence is felt across the universe, and his legacy is tied to some of the most significant events in Marvel history. In terms of weaknesses, Knull doesn't have many, but he's particularly vulnerable to the opposite of his essence, light and divine powers. Characters wielding the power of light or possessing godly abilities can harm or resist him. This is crucial during the final battles against him, where heroes harness these forces to stand a chance. Notable feats. Knull's resume of destruction is pretty extensive. Remember when I mentioned he decapitated a Celestial? Yeah, that's right. That Celestial's severed head became Nowhere, the space station we see in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He also battled against heroes like Thor and the Silver Surfer, holding his own against these powerhouses. In the King in Black storyline, Knull invades Earth, enveloping the planet in darkness and binding many of its heroes with symbiotes. It takes the combined efforts of Earth's heroes, along with the power of the Enigma Force, the god of light, to finally take him down. Talk about a cosmic threat. Throughout his campaign, Knull demonstrates the ability to extinguish stars, conquer entire worlds, and slay cosmic beings. His actions have massive implications for the Marvel Universe, altering the balance between light and darkness. The Black Racer, the avatar of death. Origin and history. Switching over to the DC Universe, let's meet the Black Racer. This enigmatic figure is a part of the New Gods mythology created by the legendary Jack Kirby. The Black Racer isn't just one person. Rather, it's a mantle passed on to individuals chosen to serve as the personification of death for the New Gods. One of the most well-known individuals to assume this role is Sergeant Willie Walker, a paralyzed Vietnam War veteran. He was selected by the Source, the cosmic energy force in the DC universe, to become the Black Racer. Upon taking on this mantle, Walker transcended his mortal limitations, becoming an agent of death who traverses the cosmos. The Black Racer's primary role is to guide the souls of gods and men to the afterlife. He's an inescapable force, showing up whenever it's someone's time to go, regardless of their power or status. Throughout various storylines, the Black Racer appears during significant cosmic events, signifying that monumental changes are afoot in the universe. Powers and abilities. So what can the Black Racer do? For starters, he's got the power of death itself. He can appear anywhere in the universe instantaneously, making him a sort of cosmic Grim Reaper. His super speed rivals that of even the fastest beings, allowing him to catch up to anyone when it's their time. The Black Racer also possesses cosmic awareness. He knows when and where death is supposed to occur and cannot be cheated or escaped. He is impervious to most forms of attack because he's not just a physical being but an elemental force. Additionally, he can interact with both the physical and spiritual realms, giving him versatility in how he carries out his duties. His presence often signifies a significant shift in the balance of power. While he generally remains neutral, simply performing his role, there have been times when he has been manipulated or redirected, such as when Darkseid attempted to use his power for his own ends. Notable feats. The Black Racer's appearances are always significant. During the Final Crisis event, the Black Racer is a looming presence as the storyline deals with the death and rebirth of gods and the universe itself. He has also interacted with characters like the Flash, where their combined connection to the Speed Force and the concept of death creates compelling narratives. In one storyline, the Black Racer merges with Barry Allen, the Flash, to become the embodiment of both death and speed, showcasing just how powerful and versatile he can be. This fusion allowed them to combat threats on a multiversal scale. While not always in the spotlight, the Black Racer's influence is felt throughout the DC universe. His role as the harbinger of death for gods means that when he shows up, it's a signal that serious events are unfolding. His impartiality and inevitability make him a unique and formidable entity. While the Black Racer often operates independently, there are instances where his power is sought after by other powerful beings. For example, Darkseid, one of the most powerful villains in the DC universe, has attempted to harness the power of the Black Racer to eliminate his enemies and tighten his grip on the universe. This tug-of-war over control of death itself highlights just how pivotal the Black Racer is within the cosmic hierarchy. Another interesting aspect is the thematic representation of the Black Racer. He symbolizes the inevitability of death, even among gods. No matter how powerful or immortal one might seem, the Black Racer ensures that death is the ultimate equalizer. This adds depth to the DC universe, reminding both characters and readers alike of the ever-present balance between life and death. Comparing powers and abilities. Now that we've got a good grasp on both Knull and the Black Racer individually, let's put them side by side and see how they stack up against each other. Domain over death. Knull and the Black Racer both embody aspects of death and darkness, but they do so in different ways. Knull is the god of the symbiotes and a primordial deity who controls darkness and creates life forms like the symbiotes to do his bidding. His essence is tied to the void and the absence of light. He brings death through conquest and destruction. On the other hand, the Black Racer is death incarnate for the new gods, a literal embodiment of the end of life. He doesn't bring death through violence, but rather ensures that when it's someone's time, he guides them to the afterlife. His role is more metaphysical, acting as a cosmic constant. Physical abilities and limitations. Knull is a physical being with godlike strength, durability, and combat skills. He wields the all-black Necrosword, which can cut through virtually anything. He's also capable of creating and manipulating the living abyss to form weapons, armies, and more. However, because he has a physical form, he can be confronted and battled directly. The Black Racer, conversely, is more of an abstract entity. While he can take on a physical form through his host, he's not limited to the physical realm. His super speed and ability to appear anywhere make him nearly impossible to avoid. Since he's an embodiment of death, traditional physical attacks might not be effective against him. His limitations are few, but affecting or separating him from his host can hinder his actions temporarily. Resistance and vulnerabilities. Knull's weaknesses include vulnerabilities to divine lightning and powerful sources of light and sound. For example, characters like Thor, who wield such powers, have been able to harm him. Additionally, the Enigma Force poses a significant threat to him. The Black Racer doesn't have traditional weaknesses. Being an embodiment of death, he's more of a force than a being you can fight. However, entities with control over life and death, or those with higher cosmic authority, might influence or impede him. Additionally, since he operates through a host, disrupting that connection could provide a temporary setback. Interaction of powers. If Knull and the Black Racer were to confront each other, their powers would interact in fascinating ways. Knull's control over darkness and creation of life forms stands in contrast to the Black Racer's role as the end of life. Could Knull's abyssal powers affect the Black Racer? Or would the Black Racer's inevitability override Knull's immortality? It's also worth considering that Knull's symbiotes might not be able to bond with or control the Black Racer due to his metaphysical nature. Conversely, the Black Racer's role isn't to destroy, but to usher souls to the afterlife. So would he actively combat Knull, or simply appear when Knull's time has come? It's a complex interplay of powers and purposes. Furthermore, while Knull has faced and defeated gods and cosmic beings, the Black Racer is more of a fundamental force of the universe. Fighting death itself is a concept that even the most powerful beings struggle with. Knull's arrogance might lead him to believe he can conquer the Black Racer, but can darkness defeat death? It's a philosophical as well as a physical battle. On the flip side, the Black Racer's encounters are usually predestined. He arrives when it's someone's time. If Knull is truly immortal or tied to the primordial void, perhaps the Black Racer wouldn't seek him out unless a greater cosmic order dictates it. This brings up questions about destiny, mortality, and the hierarchy of cosmic forces in their respective universes. Hypothetical battle scenarios. Alright, let's get into the fun part, imagining how a battle between Knull and the Black Racer might play out. Confrontation dynamics. Picture this. Knull, seeking to expand his dominion of darkness, breaches the barriers between universes and enters the DC realm. His presence unleashes the living abyss, threatening the cosmic balance. The disturbance catches the attention of higher powers, prompting the Black Racer to intervene. In battle, Knull might attempt to use his symbiotes to overwhelm the Black Racer, sending waves of darkness and tendrils to entangle him. However, given the Black Racer's ability to phase through physical matter and his super speed, these attacks might prove ineffective. Knull could try to corrupt the Black Racer with the symbiote, but can an avatar of death itself be corrupted? Possible outcomes. One possible scenario is that Knull realizes he cannot affect the Black Racer through physical means and seeks to unleash cosmic energy or dark magic against him. But the Black Racer isn't a being that can be destroyed conventionally. His existence is tied to the very fabric of the universe's laws. Knull might find himself in a battle he cannot win through brute force. Alternatively, the Black Racer could determine that it's Knull's time to pass on, initiating the process of claiming his soul. Knull, being immortal, might resist, leading to a cosmic chase. Yet, can anyone truly escape death when it's their appointed time? The chase could span galaxies, with Knull using all his power to fend off the inevitable. In a twist, perhaps Knull tries to bargain or manipulate the circumstances, attempting to find a loophole in his fate. But the Black Racer's role is impartial and unavoidable. Ultimately, the battle could conclude with Knull being overpowered by the fundamental force of death, his essence absorbed or nullified by the Black Racer. Impact on their universes. Such a confrontation would have massive implications. In the Marvel Universe, the loss of Knull could liberate the symbiotes from his influence, leading to a new era for beings like Venom and Carnage. The darkness that Knull spread would recede, potentially restoring balance. In the DC Universe, The Black Racer's victory would reaffirm the order of cosmic forces. However, the intrusion of an entity like Knull might cause ripples, leading to new threats or alliances. It could even prompt a crossover of heroes from both universes to deal with the aftermath. Conversely, if Knull somehow overcomes the Black Racer, the consequences would be dire. The fundamental concept of death being defeated could unravel the natural order, leading to chaos. Beings who were supposed to pass on might linger, causing disruptions across the multiverse. Other cosmic entities might step in to restore balance, leading to an even greater conflict. Crossover ramifications. This hypothetical battle opens up the possibility for an epic crossover event. Heroes from both Marvel and DC might unite to confront the unprecedented threat. Imagine Superman teaming up with Thor, or Batman collaborating with Iron Man to devise a strategy. The storytelling potential is enormous. Such an event would explore themes of life, death, and the responsibilities of power. It could challenge characters to confront their own mortality and the consequences of disrupting cosmic laws. Fans would be treated to an unforgettable saga that pushes the boundaries of both universes. Conclusion. To wrap things up, both Knull and the Black Racer are incredibly powerful beings who represent fundamental concepts within their universes. Knull embodies darkness and the destructive power of the void, while the Black Racer personifies the inevitability of death. A battle between them would be not just a clash of titans, but a collision of philosophies. Can darkness consume death, or does death claim even the darkest of beings? While it's hard to declare a clear victor, the scales might tip in favor of the Black Racer due to his role as an elemental force that even gods cannot escape. But hey, that's just our take. What do you think would happen if these two Deathbringers collided? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more epic discussions. Until next time, stay awesome. Thank you for joining us on this cosmic adventure. If you have suggestions for other epic matchups or topics you'd like us to cover, drop them in the comments. Keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next video.